AYO, it's Daeni, and welcome to another video, A-Team. Today we're going to be looking at the DW-5600 Casio's G-Shock family line, like one of the first watches I believe they came out with. Today, the hundreds is a collaboration between G-Shock, Casio G-Shock that is, and the hundreds clothing brand, celebrating their 35th anniversary. The year, not relevant, 35th anniversary. Now, this watch is a little bit sus, in my opinion, because it's in the middle of good looking, but they could do better.
Silence, you fool!
And they did, so shout outs to the hundreds. About this watch, is shock resistant, 200-meter water resistant, EL afterglow or backlight, that's how the back of it lights up, multifunction alarm and flash alerts, a countdown timer, repeat auto function, and hourly signaling, you know, when it goes beep for every hour. Yo, if you do that to your watch, comment down below. I don't understand for the life of me why people would do that. The watch have an auto calendar and it's pre-programmed until 2039. 24-hour format. You could do the 12-hour or you could do military 24-hour with an accuracy of about 15 seconds every month. So, you know, you might want to check it if it's been a while since you wore the watch. You already know. The battery uses the CR 2016, and the lifespan is approximately about 2 years. But you already know, when you buy any G-Shock, unless you're buying it the day it drops, chances are you're already looking at about a year and a half, and you might have to change the battery sooner than that. Now, there are some instances where you don't have to change the battery. You can, like, like, it'll be good. And then if you get the solar powered, that's not even an issue. I have watches for about 10 years now, still working on a solar power jump up, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt.
What?
This watch varies in prices, and it kind of depends on where you go to get it. I mean, the prices can range from $175 to $319 or $320.
Stop!
You can look at it about $100 on eBay. But they do have a high-end G-Shock that uses the same DW-5600, but it's like, it looks better, I guess. So I guess it's like more matte. Let me show you the watch. I don't have the $1,000 watch, unfortunately, but I do have the $100 to $320 one. So you know how this watch, let me get this clean for y'all. So you know how this watch uses its situation with the black, yellow, and red? Well, you can get it with an all black face, as you can see, and it has like, you know, yeah, it's the same. I wish I had another watch I could show you that's comparable to that, but I don't. So you want to take my word for it. You can look at the picture; it looks the same. This is what this watch looks like. This is what this watch looks like. You know what I mean? If you're in the market and you're trying to get a decent looking G-Shock, now you ain't gonna find these because they don't make them anymore, and you know it's gonna be a little bit more challenging. So what was my first impression? Well, I always like buying collaborations. I always think that it's interesting. You know, sometimes you fall on gems like the Mr. Cartoon, the WCCS, the Wildlife Coral Reef Foundation one, and then you fall on the 300, and they have multiple releases with G-Shock, so it all really depends on which one you get. Mr. Cartoon only did one. The hundreds, I think, did about like 4. I don't really remember, but I know these 2 for this particular that 5600 series. So now I know that these aren't as popular as the other models, but this watch is pretty good. You get the hundreds on the back, like so. You get this nice negative display. You get the nice engraven blood, sweat, and tears. Is that what it says? Blood, sweat, and years. You get that nice engraving on it. It has a kind of an ashy mesh, like, no, not ashy mesh, like an ashy resin type feel to it. So it look kind of rustic. You get that. Also get the hundreds and like a glossy print embossed on both sides of the band, and you get the logo on the other side. Now the logo on the face is supposed to kind of resemble that, but the watch, the actual display on the around the bezel, kind of gets in the way. So and you get the nice font for each of the settings, the 4 settings on the watch. It's a very simple watch. You're paying a lot of money for one of these anyway, because nowadays you can find these for about, I don't know, $50, just a plain 5600 series. So when you do a collaboration with them, and it's one of the most used watches, believe me, the most used G-Shock watch that I've seen in collaborations. Some of the pros, it's classic, easy to find the batteries, lasts a long time, very rugged. There's not too many things that could go wrong with this watch. When you have this, you're looking at nice styling, on that gunmetal steel clip, nice styling, recognizable. People will know this watch from miles, from feet away. Like they'll know it's a G-Shock, and they'll know what series you have on. Anyone who knows enough about Casio and the G-Shock line. The cons is it's a very simple watch. So you might be paying a premium for a watch that's not going to do too much. And to some people, that's just too much money to spend. They really can't bite the bullet on a purchase like that. I mean, they came out with another one, which is a little bit more flamboyant, but definitely more desired. I think they had limited amount when they released that watch. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Yeah, you're looking at it. I mean, ultimately it's a basic watch. If you're in it for the collaboration, you're gonna like it. If not, that $100 is probably a good deal if you just want to have something like this in your collection. Very rugged though, and the resin strap that they put on this particular watch is nice. Whenever they put the glossy resin bands on it, it tends to like strip or whatever, and it just becomes a whole nother problem in the future. With this watch, not so much. You're gonna enjoy it. I do. I don't wear it as much as I should, but I'm definitely a fan of this watch. I did a video about it before, but I just wanted to update you. It's been about 2 years, 3 years. I've had this watch for maybe 4 years or so, and it still looks good. Now I don't wear my watches a lot. You know me. I probably wear the Apple Watch for most daily activities because Siri is really my secretary. But isn't that crazy? Who else have Siri as a secretary? Comment down below. But this is what the watch looked like on my wrist. Not a bad looking watch. Pretty fun to wear. Because it's black, most outfits you have on is gonna go perfectly fine with. And relatively light. I think it weighs 86 grams or so. 86 grams? Really light. 86 something. Yeah, it's really, really, really light. Typical watch, really. Easy to change out the battery because it uses a screw back, so you don't really have to find any. Oh, you guys didn't see the back. Got it too loose. Hold on. No, it's too tight. But no, it's too tight. Oh yeah, worst. All right, so now one of the issues I'm noticing with this, really, I noticed it before, but I just remembered, is if you maneuver the strap too much, you kind of get this ashy, the material kind of sticks onto or embosses onto the strap itself. So wearing it too much, you could probably end up glossing out certain parts of it, which probably wouldn't really matter to some people, but to me it kind of does, because if you are in the market of trying to resell this in the future, it might be pretty difficult to resell if it looked like it's been worn too much. But that's what it looked like on my strip. And then when you wear a watch, these parts tend to wear the most, especially if you do a lot of outdoorsy thing. If you're just wearing it casually though, I don't really see any issues with the watch. It's not bad. I mean, it's a very pretty watch. Very pretty watch. And you gotta take into consideration, like when you're doing things, like you're wearing like fragrances and colognes, all that get on the watch, and it also contributes to the deterioration of the watch. So keep that in mind when you purchase it. I always recommend G-Shock. I mean, there are probably a few that I wouldn't, but this one is definitely one of the recommended. It is a collector's dream to have every collaboration that G-Shock ever made. Really difficult to do so. So when you do get one, you know, it's kind of hard to even come across. With the age of the internet, before you could go to the store and pick these up, but with the age of the internet, it's really hard to come across a good collaboration between G-Shock and any other companies. So, you know, take that for what it is. You know what I mean? If you want the watch and you find it at a reasonable price, you know, maybe you should just pull the trigger if you're really into G-Shocks. If not, get yourself an Apple Watch. You'll be alright. With either way, you'll be alright. G-Shock should do a collaboration with Apple and have a G-Shock face. That'd be dope. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'll probably buy an Apple. Oh my gosh, an Apple and G-Shock collaboration. I mean, G-Shock been in the game for so long. So many of us wear them. Can you imagine I just blew my mind. An Apple G-Shock watch. Whoa, that'd be so tough. But like, I mean, it does all your Apple stuff, but you get like classic G-Shock faces. You could probably get the 5600, the 6300. You could get like the King of G-Shock's faces. Mostly the square faces, really. But that'd be crazy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hit that like, hit that sub, comment down below. Let me know what you feel about. Let me know how you feel about that G-Shock collaboration with Apple, if it ever comes. And Apple, if you see this, we need to make that happen. Other than that, tell me what you think about the hundreds collaboration with G-Shock. And make sure you hit that like button down below. All right, thank you for watching. What I always say, stay blessed. 1.